All right, so the Buccaneers are back. They finally win a game. Tom Brady, I wonder how long he's gone, basically a month without winning a football game because you had two losses and a bye week. Crazy stat, Tom Brady, it's been 19 years since he's lost the three in a row. That's just absurd. Again, all these Brady stats just are bonkers to think about. This was a fun game. I was at this game, and it was a blast. I have to say, if you ever have a chance to go to a Monday night game, it's absolutely worth it. I was blown away by how much more exciting it was being at a night game. Plus, I hadn't gone to a Bucs game in like 5 years, so I had a great time. But about the game itself, one thing that I love about going to games as well is you can actually see what coverages teams are playing and everything. You basically have all 22 just by being there. So it was very fascinating to see, I thought, the way that Tampa Bay attacked this Giants offense, or excuse me, the Giants defense. The Giants defense, we knew what they were probably going to do, which is try this cover two defense that we had seen, the Saints and the Washington football team both have success with. And it kind of did okay, but at the end of the day, Tampa Bay was able to be successful enough at it that in the second half, the Giants just started playing cover one. So let's talk about what they were able to do to get the Giants out of cover two, because it wasn't just running the ball like you might expect. So a lot of it was stuff like this, which they tried this earlier. They tried this last game against the Washington football team and even against the Saints. And in fact, it's something they just do, period, which is screen passes. They like screen passes, and whether it's a wide receiver screen or a halfback screen, this one's going to be a halfback screen, but the reality is I feel like they were just better at it this game. And how much of that is the Giants defense? How much of that is the Buccaneers offense? Take your pick. It's certainly part of both, but they were better at it in this game. And, what you're doing is you have the two receivers who are lined up to the offense's right who are going to run out and block. But you also have Gronkowski who can run out and block a linebacker. And look at how right when this play begins, you're going to see that it works. Those three guys make their blocks. It's the safeties who then have to come over and make the tackle. And that's what you want to do. When teams are playing cover two, you want safeties to make tackles. That's pretty much what you're trying to do here because you're going to gain, 8 to 10 yards on those plays. So on this play, they get a first down on first down, and that kind of stuff, it makes things difficult as you can, much easier move the ball methodically down the field. As I mentioned, in the second half, they went to stuff like this. They played a lot of cover three zone, which kind of felt like maybe a bit of a desperation move as they were really struggling. They got that one turnover, which was a fluky turnover. I mean, again, that's part of the logic of playing a lot of cover two is you force drives to take longer, and then a mistake can be made. But the Giants decided to, hey, let's take a chance here. Let's go with the cover one play. Hope we can make a play because we're not stopping them too much on cover two. But then the Buccaneers could really just, honestly, they were a lot more effective against this type of stuff. What you're going to do is you have a tight end who's going to run a deep route over the middle, which just pushes the safety deep, which basically turns it into, there's no safeties you have to worry about as there's going to be a safety covering Gronkowski. You have another receiver who can just run over the middle, and he probably should get open. Watch. Brady takes the snap, and you're going to see it's actually going to be Brashad Perriman. I'm going to pause it right here. Look at just how wide open he is, because if you let Tom Brady know what's coming, he's not going to have too much issues in making sure that, he checks into the right play if he has to and just finds the open guy. And also these Tampa Bay receivers, even, when it's Perriman here, a lot of people don't, I think, fully realize how much other receivers have roles in a lot of these plays, where Godwin and Gronkowski on this play both are running good setup routes to allow Perriman to get open. So when you have these receiver talents, and this is also kind of why, sometimes what's more important than having just one or two good receivers is having receiver depth, which Tampa Bay does now. When Gronkowski comes back, that's another guy who can run these routes well. That just allows things to run a lot more smoothly, and again, makes it a lot easier when you know what coverage is coming, as the Giants didn't really disguise at all in this game. Let's also talk some third downs, because they were pretty consistent on third downs. Nothing crazy, 6 for 13, but I felt like they got the important ones early on. And third downs, what the Giants would do is they would then mix things up a little bit. They're going to do something like this, where it's actually a cover two, because again, this was still in the first half when this is what they're doing, but they have a player who's going to drop back into coverage, so it's just a three-man rush right here, and then you have man coverage across the board. And the issue with doing this against Tampa Bay is they just have so many options. Even with, Antonio Brown still out, they still have so many options that you're going to have a hard time covering every single player. And so on these third down and mediums, which that's, again, part of the strategy is Tampa Bay, they can get maybe 5 yards every play, but they screw up once. Now you have a third down. You just get the stop. You're off the field. The issue is it's just not that easy to do against Tampa Bay. The guy who Brady is going to look towards on this route is going to be Mike Evans, and watch what he's going to do. So Brady takes the snap, and Evans makes a really good move at the line, and he's looking to be open right away. Also, what I love about this from Brady, though, and this is kind of one of the things that, makes Brady very good, and also part of why we've seen some miscommunications over the years, is Brady's already throwing the football. So you have this, this timing. People say timing for a quarterback, very important. And for someone like Brady, you don't really think of him as an anticipatory thrower. You think of him as someone who makes the smart, sometimes safe decision. Well, here he's taking a bit of a chance because, if Evans is running the wrong route or something, it will be an interception. But I think on 3rd down and 4, it's the right call to make right here. Watch, Brady does throw it to Evans, and they're able to pick up a 1st down. So again, how much of that is Brady being good? I mean, you can say what you want. I know that basically no one's going to change their opinion of Tom Brady now. To me, this is just him running an offense, but it's him running an offense partially because teams are afraid of deep shots over the middle, so they're kind of giving this underneath stuff, and then Brady and the Buccaneers will simply just take it. And we got to talk about this play. We got to break this one down. Elite rusher Tom Brady. You can't play man coverage against a couple guys because they'll run with the football and pick up the 1st down. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and of course, Tom Brady. This was a very fun play. So it's going to be man coverage, and there's, again, player covering over the middle. Typically, that guy will also be in charge of the quarterback, but again, when it's Brady, you kind of don't think about that. Watch, you're going to see, first off, this Buccaneers offensive line did a great job. It did a great job all game. There was no pressure. Brady did not get sacked in this one, so that's not ideal for the New York Giants. You see Brady at this point. There is, I've just paused it right here, there is a place where he can run and try and pick up the 1st down. And, I'm kind of joking a little bit, obviously. Okay, of course, Brady isn't some elite runner of the football or anything like that, but he has looked more mobile this year. He currently has 51 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown on the year, which doesn't sound like much, but you think about last year, he only had 6 rushing yards, so although also 3 rushing touchdowns. Most of his rushes last year were just kneel downs, and I'm sure a good chunk of them this year are kneel downs. But again, he's moved around a little bit better. And it's not all just with running. It can also be with, just getting himself more time in the pocket. He does look a little bit more mobile than he has in at least in last year. Part of that was, I know he had sort of an MCL thing, if I remember correctly. So maybe just being healthier, he's able to move around a little bit better. He's still not going to be Lamar, but he can move around a little better. And look, as you see, you're going to see one of the more unathletic jukes ever. But hey, he gets the job done, and then, slides maybe a little bit late. But, credit to the safety for New York there, not hitting him there, being able to avoid that. So good job on him. Listen, I know it's just the Giants. And if you want to say I just don't pay much attention to, beating a now 3-7 team, whatever, good on you for blowing them out, but I don't care that much. That's a fair take. I don't really hate that. To me, the reason why I still will, my main takeaways are the fact that, okay, they're learning how to beat this cover 2 a little bit better as it's become a more and more popular, thing that teams do. So I think that's promising for Tampa Bay. I thought the Giants' game plan was fine. I thought they had the right game plan. Tampa Bay just beat it, which is always nice when you can do that as a team. Again, the Buccaneers defense has had a couple of these games now where they've just completely shut another team down. I think Todd Bowles deserves a lot of credit for what he's been able to do. And I also think just getting Sean Murphy-Bunting back, that's going to help because, they only gave up 10 points and 7 of those were, right at you had the ball already at the 5-yard line, so it's kind of easy to score from there. So Buccaneers defense deserves a lot of credit, but I think the offense is the main takeaway. But that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know. What were your thoughts on this game? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.